Hi, I'm Ashley Victoria Robinson.
And I'm Jay Washington.
And we're here to review Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 5, Chapter 1. And if you haven't seen this episode, you might want to come back later because there will be spoilers. Gamby comes under direct attack, and the ripples are felt across Freeland. Jay, Mr. Jay Washington.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you're here to cry with me
Man,
about this episode.
I cried a lot.
Written by our friend.
Okay, first of all, we're going to say this personally to you, Lamont, okay? Because you're going to text me after you watch this because I know you will. All my tears are your fault, fam. They all your fault, okay? I should not have been crying this much sitting next to her watching something. My damn allergies are just...
Yeah, this is a lot. This is happening. Santana wins.
Man.
Let's start on a high note, though.
What
Gamby has a Nick Fury car?
Yo! Like, I thought it was just a regular... I thought the Nick Fury thing would be the van.
Yeah.
I thought it would be the van. But to see the car tell you, yeah, your integrity is at 39%. I was like, wait, is there a Tony Stark in this universe?
I didn't know that structural integrity at 9% meant your car's going to blow up. Now, I don't know nothing about cars, but I think that's a bit of a leap.
No, I think structural integrity at 9% means your shit can blow up.
Yeah.
Not it will, it can. And it did. It started out, it just started out so unassuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which we didn't, we alluded from in the previous episode how Gamby got his ass whooped in that fight. But to watch Gamby now just go visit a farmer's market.
Speaks Japanese.
Speaks fluent Japanese. Like, okay, all right. And then just driving, all of a sudden you see the car pull up on the side of him, the dudes look over.
As soon as a white guy with a beard lowers his automatic window at you, you know you're in trouble.
There's nothing good coming out of this.
It's just going to end poorly.
And then you see the dude, he saw the dude in the rear view mirror. I was like, wait. And so like it was an ambush, but you never expected it.
Yeah.
And then to see the car when it flipped over again, she said earlier, there will be spoilers. So if you ain't know, the car flipped over and it exploded.
Don't comment.
Don't.
Not about that.
Get out your feelings. But it was like, wait, they're gonna do this? Mm-hmm. And granted, we know, like for those of us who know the comic book, it happens. It's gonna happen.
But do we believe this? Is he dead?
I'll finish the episode.
Okay.
It's out. Those things. But that to watch Henderson, have to tell Jefferson, And just to watch Henderson almost... Shouts out to Damon Gupton for the acting on that, because he was
about every episode because we love him.
He was about to break down himself. And then Jefferson was like, yo, let me just go check on him and see he's okay. And he was like, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, whoa.
I also like that scene for what it says about their relationship and the state of repair that it's in, because... There's a version of this story where he goes and he just tells him and he gets out of there because that trust was broken and they have difficulty working together. But the fact that he is emotional knowing that he has to say this to Jefferson and he sticks around to make sure that his friend is understanding.
Yeah.
It really says a lot about the character of Henderson.
Well, because we've talked about it before. The anger so much wasn't so much of him being really angry at finding out he's Black Lightning. It was that he never told him.
Yep.
He lied. He was hurt. And so to see that, it's like, okay, that's where it comes back to that. Like, yo, the actual emotion. Like, look, I got to check on my friend first and foremost. And we discussed it too, how basically Jefferson just had to lose another father.
Yep.
And so that hits. And then it's just, like you said in the description, it's a ripple effect.
Yep.
How it affects everybody else.
And it echoes down to, we really get to see Jennifer and Anissa processing this in a very different way, and how they're choosing, like, Anissa is very much falls into her work and falls into her relationship. Like, she is trying to focus in every meaningful way possible on life. So it's interesting. She goes and gets her job at the free clinic, which I love. I think that's really great for her.
That time she used the whole being a doctor thing, though.
Right. Well, I thought she was in med school. I guess she's graduated. It's fine. There's been some time that we haven't seen. That's okay. We see her back with Grace. I understand why you want to make Grace have strength after their encounter. You want her to not just seem like she's picking up Anissa because Anissa's there for her, the way that like Barry and Iris got together because they're Barry and Iris and they're supposed to get together. But I kind of thought Grace pushing her away was kind of sad, and I hope it pays off when we see more of her character.
Well, if you listen to what she told her in the bed, like, listen, you're not finna just come because you're down.
Yeah.
And just come and have sex and then we bounce. And I was like, isn't that what some relationships are based off of? But, like, isn't that what some are? But the fact she was like, and then even Anissa couldn't process it.
Yeah.
But Grace was frustrated. But then that goes into finding out about her abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have the anger, the anxiety, the ADHD. And so you're starting to see more and more, for those who didn't know who Grace Choi was.
Yeah.
You're now seeing she is a metahuman, and you're going to start seeing more different levels about her. But I just thought it was kind of weird, because I know you have people who are hurt, who are vulnerable, and they reach out to somebody. And a lot of times it is an ex-lover.
Yep.
Or, whatnot. And so those things do happen. But to see Grace be like, you know what, I'm going to get out of my own bed.
Yeah. I thought it was, the way that they introduced Grace's powers was strange, because after a quick Google search, it seems to imply that Grace is a shapeshifter, which is not something that she is classically in the comics, or that she has some control of matter. Now, that idea gets blown out a little bit by the end of the episode, when we see what some other people who have moving skin in South Freeland. But Grace is classically like a Superman type, very strong, very fast.
Yes.
So I don't know if those powers currently exist, or if they're going to evolve out of the little scarab beetles under everybody's skin that are so gross.
With that, I was like, what the fuck? What the
I
fuck?
am not here for metahuman powers because of bugs. Screw bugs are great. Thank you, bugs.
Also, we got to give a shout out. Two Bits is back.
Yeah.
Yo,
It took me fully the entire scene to remember who he was.
Ashley was like, oh yeah, that's stupid. Yo, to see him back, but to see the way you see him at Jefferson being drunk.
Yeah.
In the bar, which is a natural thing people do.
And the entire time, Jay's like, metahumans shouldn't get drunk.
They
You
should-
should not be allowed to go to bars. And then Jefferson's kind of wandering around, and Jay was like, this is why.
This is why. Because, and you're probably wondering, like, Jay, why shouldn't a metahuman like that go to a bar? Well, Jefferson's ability is to absorb electricity around him and shoot it at people. Jefferson is pissed off and hurt. He is drunk as hell. What do you think could happen? Yeah. All of a sudden, somebody gets struck by
giving
light.
finger guns.
He's giving finger guns. You got a problem with me? You got a problem? Now he's zapping people. Then people finally put the 2 and 2 together. Oh, the 6'6" black dude is Black
With the
Lightning.
chin.
With the same exact chin.
It's a very, very noticeable jawline.
But to see that, and again, we go back to Henderson,
Yeah.
who ends up in the bar to console him.
Bless. I love their friendship.
And it's a good thing to see, because again, people were kind of like, oh, how are they going to deal with it? Especially after he told in episode 3, we caught him.
Yeah.
And Jefferson's like, wait, y'all caught him. I was supposed to catch him. And now, you're seeing this different evolution again of we're back. We're mending, shall I say? Not even evolution.
Mm-hmm.
We're mending the fences.
And I think we're evolving into the Batman-Gordon dynamic that we've come to expect from superheroes and cops. Like, I think my prediction would be that they're going to develop a working relationship.
Oh, at this
And Jefferson will eventually be the one to take down Tobias whenever Cronin's contract runs out.
By the way, can we bring this up when Henderson is in the house talking to both Jefferson and Anissa?
Yeah.
And Anissa's trying to play coy.
Oh, yeah.
with things.
Jeff's like, he knows.
She's like, look, I forgot to tell you. He knows I'm Black Lightning.
She gives him the shadiest side eye for like, you told him?
No,
Okay.
use the exact words. She gave him the
Yeah.
because that was the look she gave. Because it was like,
Someone gif out Jay doing that, please, and tweet it to me. Ashley V. Robinson.
because that's what it was.
Yeah,
Because he
yeah.
had that look like, you're just not going to tell me
Mm-hmm.
you told him. But again, going back to the bar, that's him being there for him. And then we also still have to mention Lynn's rivalry with Dr. Jace.
Yeah, that's... I don't know if Jay's theory is that this is how we're getting a bunch of the Outsiders characters.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right, but I find this storyline very intriguing because it's the one that I can wrap my head around the least.
Mhm.
And I like what it says about Lynn as a doctor. I love being reminded that her last name is Stewart, and maybe her brother John will show up at some point. That would be amazing. But to watch her have to come to the realization that she'd been played that hard was very compelling watching.
Yeah, because Dr. Jace was like, hey, I rang your numbers, and
Yeah.
so we could save everybody.
And you kind of like that moment. Like, it's kind of like a Lila coming to Diggle. Like,
Yes.
hey, we're going to work together. We're going to do this. We got it. And the betrayal comes real hard.
And you
I
just-
didn't see it coming.
I didn't either. When you just start seeing pods go red,
Yeah.
then like, what is happening? And then Jace is like, look, I saved at least 14 of them.
She's a very, the needs of the many, or the ends justify the
Or the means,
means.
the end
which,
justify-
It's always tough in science and medicine, because ultimately your job is to save everyone.
Yeah, but there, for lack of better words, there's sacrifices.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, they're always, look, I know we don't like experiments that have to happen, but when you see mice in labs,
Mm-hmm.
there are some who will make it, some who won't.
Yep.
Even though they want them all to make it.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to use the kids as considered to be lab rats, but already they are.
I mean, that's the narrative purpose that they're serving.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And they already are being green light babies.
Yep.
You know, and so now, like Ashley mentioned, I think that they're cutting down the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because to introduce the kids in the pods is like, okay.
There's 28 of them.
There were
That is an entire elementary school class of children. Like, that is a lot
That
of
is a lot of kids.
That's an expensive cast list.
And so it's like, all right, how do we slowly but surely take him down? Issa's out.
Yeah.
He's living his life.
I think there's 14 left, right?
14 left.
So 7 of them will go on to be villains, and 7 of them will go on to be heroes and outsiders. Probably.
If we do 7 and 7.
Yeah.
I think we might get 5 total.
Sure.
Well, not 5 total. 5 heroes, 5 villains.
5 outsiders?
Yeah, because this way Tobias can have his gang of metahumans.
Oh, as led by Khalil.
Which is
that'd be fun if Khalil led them, and then Jennifer was like part of leading the.
That's gonna be interesting.
You can have that idea, Lamont. The show's wrapped.
But no, it's not even wrapped yet.
Oh, I thought it was
they're
wrapped.
Not. No, they're like on episode maybe 10. They're filming episode 11, I believe.
I was like, they gotta be close.
They're close.
They are a shorter season than Arrow.
Yeah. So
Arrow, all of them should be 16 seasons. I'm just putting that
it
out
would
there.
make it so much better for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think what's gonna be the most interesting part about all this, bringing up Jennifer, is when she finally tells Khalil she's a meta.
He will not just take the hint and leave her alone. Gentlemen.
Go ahead. I was waiting on this.
When a woman doesn't answer you, it means leave her alone. That's the end of my soapbox.
Okay. I'm not saying you're on a soapbox. However,
I'll say it.
however, she still cares about him.
She absolutely does, which is why we drive her story this way.
Yeah, you can see no matter what, as much as she tries. Here's the thing: as many iPhones and laptops she's ran through, which, by the way, she should never have another electronic in her life.
No, it should be pen and paper only. I want Jefferson to walk in there and be like, "Here's a notepad."
And here's a pigeon.
Yeah.
You fry this pigeon. It's a problem.
Well, you'll have squab.
But the thing is, like, she could block him.
Yep.
And she never has.
Yep.
And I get completely what Ashley's saying for everybody going to comment. See, I'm not about consent. Get out your feelings. I get it. Tell you right now, get the fuck out your feelings. But she is always leaving that door open because she cares.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest. Like, she feels like with no Anissa in the house, she can't talk to her parents.
Yeah.
The only other person her friend Keisha is gone because now Keisha doesn't like metahumans.
Yeah, and also Jennifer's not going to school anymore. She's officially homeschooled.
Now she's homeschooled.
So their biggest connection has been severed.
And she needs.
Keisha's gonna be back.
Yeah,
Jennifer's gonna need her hair braided or something sooner or later.
You know, Anissa gonna hook up with the machine that braids her hair and puts the ponytail in with the ponytails.
That's so funny.
But she'll have to tell him about her abilities, and that's gonna either go one or two ways.
Yeah.
Because that's either gonna go, hey, I can help you learn this, or, oh shit, if you got powers, who else around you has abilities?
Yeah.
Because remember, Dr. Jace even brought up.
A metahuman family, we could experiment on
which the DNA is of Jefferson and Anissa's.
Yes, it is.
So she was like, why do you have this stable DNA? And Linda's like,
ASA.
The ASA, you know, they gave it to me.
Yeah, Lynn does a pretty poor job covering it up. But I get it's a heightened situation and she's very stressed. Just like Jefferson when he goes to Gamby's and has his breakdown. I love emotional acting from grown men. It is not something we are not allowed to do enough. I thought Crest Williams did a beautiful job as someone who's lost their father. I thought the scene rang really true, and it made me feel a lot of things. And I especially love that they allowed him to give over to having his daughter support him, to let him need someone to be strong for him. I thought it was really beautiful.
I was going to let you finish. I was real emotional in that moment because you were watching him, and you read the locket because you never knew what was on the locket.
Yeah.
And to see it was a locket that Jefferson had given Gamby. And at that moment, he had finally come to the realization he is gone. Because remember, the entire episode, he's like, look, this is Gamby. He
yells at Lynn about it.
He was like, why you have to say him like? He was like, I'll take it back.
Yeah.
Because his whole belief is this is Gamby.
Yep.
He even tells Anissa his contingency plans have contingency plans. So it's like, yeah, he's alive. He believes it. And it's just at that moment it hits.
It's okay, Jeff. I believe it too. I don't think he's dead.
Look, but how? Here's I don't believe he is because of interview we did on the set visit with James Remar.
Spoilers.
I didn't say what happens, but I just wonder how does Jefferson handle it when Gamby just pops back up in a brand new suit, like.
He's gonna hit him right in the face.
Or that, and that's another thing. If Gamby's gone, hypothetically, did Gamby leave him one last thing?
Yeah.
And it be in a new suit.
You don't want more day glow?
I mean, no, so I don't want that at all.
I'm like the only person who doesn't hate the day glow.
I like it when the suit is turned off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it still does the same thing being off, but it's something about the LED light look. I get it, yo, Salim. I get it, bro. I get it. I get what you're shooting for. But it's just something about like, oh man, he can't really hide in corners. Like
he's gotta hide behind his back.
He gotta hide and turn his suit off and on. Now what happens if it don't want to repower back up? You don't want to boot up. But I think if Gabby's gone, he may have left him. Look, here's some things you didn't know I had. I made a new suit for you and Anissa, and Jennifer's suit is here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I think if Gamby is gone, I don't think James Remar is gone from the show.
Oh, no.
I think we're going to get more flashbacks, and I'm okay with that.
And hallucinations. I'm fine with those, too.
Great, totally.
I'm a black dude hallucinating that ain't on drugs. Give it to me.
Oh, my God. Flip the script. This is all that this show does, please. All right, Jay, on a scale of 1 to 5 lightning bolts, how are we going to rate the episode of Tears?
I'm not going to rate it in lightning bolts. I'm going to rate it in teardrops.
Broken hearts.
In broken hearts. I did not. This show, throughout its inaugural season and now early into its second season, has always taken you on an emotional ride. And this ride, this one episode took you on, was just something that really was like, man, I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Again, family drama with superpowers. And the drama and the heartbreak came fully through in this one. You're getting all of my teardrops and hearts on 5.
Yeah, I never expect to cry in genre, and every time I can, I think it's really impressive. I think it's one of the best episodes to date. And I think it's setting the bar for the kinds of stories that you can tell in this universe very, very high. So I will agree, and I will definitely give it 10 out of 5 lightning bolts.
I think the only episode that made me not even this emotional, but somewhat close, was not even in Black Lightning, but Arrow.
Which episode?
When Slade killed Moira.
That's a good episode. Is that 3 Ghosts?
Yeah.
Watch our top 10 Arrow video series.
Yes, watch that.
We're both in it. We talk about that episode.
That was the episode when Slade kills Moira, because you watch Oliver just sit there and all he does is break.
Yeah.
And so you had an emotional level, but to watch the way the ripples went through the entire episode, I think that's what made it hit more, because of course you could have just said, Gamby's gone.
Yeah.
Boom. And then we move on with the storyline.
And if this were Legends or The Flash or Super, that's what we would have done.
That's what we would have done.
Yeah.
Dead, move forward.
Yeah.
They let you deal with this, and which means we're going to have to deal with it next week. And
we've got 11 more episodes, so I bet we'll still be talking about this in the finale.
I'll be bringing tissue for every review.
All right, Jay, if people want to follow your tears all over the internet, where can they do that?
If you want to see my emotions, I am on Twitter and Instagram, okay? It's at Mr. J Washington. It's MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Put a teardrop over the I. Find me on YouTube, youtube.com/JAY Washington80, and the Mad Titan Podcast. So on iTunes, Google Play. Please rate and subscribe that. I get you caught up on everything that's happening in Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes on both platforms. It's a lot of TV shows. It's a lot of movies. It's a lot of news. I do it all for the people.
Everything that we're not reviewing here and you're asking us for,
I
Jay is doing. And I highly recommend checking it out. And for more exclusive geeky content, check out patreon.com/Jawiin. Come join us in the Hall of Justice and be a super friend. We will be back next week, maybe crying some more.